Hi, welcome viewers across the world who are watching Edu Television. Today, we are in our principal's favorite program. It's a matter of principle. Today, we have got a very young principal from the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore, from Delhi Public School, Electronic City, Bangalore, Mrs. Anupama Ramachandra. She has not only taught in India, she's also taught in US. She's a Fulbright scholar. Ma'am, we would like to know how a passive and reluctant learner can be transformed into active and enthusiastic learner. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Greetings of the day to all the viewers of Edu TV. I think the question asked by Mr. Pranav is something that all of us are trying to crack in the last so many years that we are involved in the process of teaching learning process. No matter which board we are, which part of the country we are, which part of the world we are from, I think all of us are concerned about whether we are able to engage the learner or not. If the learner is not engaged, then the whole process does not have any meaning. So, responding to your question, Pranav, how do we make a passive learner an active learner? There are many ways in which you can do it, but I would like to quickly give you an example or an analogy of food because food is universal and I think everybody relates to it. In a family of, let's say, 4 or 5 people, the way to keep the mealtime interesting is that we keep in mind what each person likes or prefers. So today we make food that the father likes. Tomorrow we make something that we like. Maybe another day for one child, for another child. So as you can see, why I told you is that we are ensuring that not only is there variety, but we are also keeping in mind the preferences of each member of the family. So the same thing applies in a classroom also, that when you are teaching a class is a heterogeneous mixture of learners who come from different socio-economic backgrounds. Their expectations are different, their competencies are different, their skill sets that they possess are different. So we have to keep in mind that a classroom, although we just teach in one way and we are expecting that everybody will learn, that's not how it works because the learners are from different backgrounds. So we have to keep in mind while we are planning lessons as teachers that if you want to make them active in class, you should keep in mind how do you cater to each one's preference of learning. Some of them like to see and learn, they are visual learners. Some of them like to do and learn, they are kinesthetic learners. Some of them like to hear and learn, they are auditory learners. There are some others who like to read and write, that is a different kind of learner. Some of them are introverts, some of them are extroverts, some of them like to go outdoors, some of them like to be indoors. So we have to keep in mind when we are making a lesson plan that you cannot do it everything on one day, like how I told in a family, but the children will be active because they know that maybe tomorrow or day after their turn will also come. The teacher will do something that they like, so they will be actively engaged when things are happening because they know that this is not the only way the teacher is going to teach. Tomorrow, day after, the in the following week there is going to be variety. So we have to keep in mind that you have to take them outdoors, you have to teach them indoors, you have to use different kind of resource materials, your teaching aids have to be different. And today we are catering to children who are digital natives. They are born with technology, so you have to include these digital resources also to keep them engaged. And of course, I need not tell this because everybody knows, whoever has done their B.Ed will know, we learn it in theory that we should incorporate strategies like case studies or problem solving. A simple activity like they think, they sit and exchange it with their neighbor, pair it, and then they share it with the entire class. We can have debates, we can have peer teaching and assessment. We can have different kinds of activities so that children are engaged in different way. And the way we group it also, Pranav, I feel that we as teachers tend to put all the good ones into one group, all the not so good ones into one group, the average into another. I think while we are forming groups, we have to be very democratic in the way we form our groups, and we should have an average child, a below average child, a child with special needs, a child who's academically very smart, a child who's very good with talking, a child who's good with artistic talents. We have to have different kinds of children in each group so that they not only exchange ideas but they learn from each other. If somebody is not good in arts, when he sees his counterpart doing great artistic work for a file or a folder or a poster, he will say, why don't I give it a try? So I think forming groups is another way of nurturing, engaging learning styles in the class. And the best way to make children engage learners, Pranav, is to make them responsible for their own learning. We always keep telling, as teachers, we say, while we are teaching only, we say, this is very important. Underline this, this will come in the exam. I think as educators, we have to take away this element of teaching for assessment, because we always think that if children do well in the exams, that means they have learned well. But I'm very sorry to tell you that is a myth. The children who are good at learning things by heart do well in exams, but it doesn't mean that they got all the concepts that you were trying to teach. So you have to take out assessment as an integral part of any education system, but we should not make all teaching learning activities focused or aligned towards only assessment. So as teachers, we should never say important for exam, this will get you 4 marks. I don't think so. We have to actually tell them that how what they're learning is going to help them for future life when they become adults, when they have a career opportunity. Like I'm a teacher of English. So whenever I do a comprehension activity or a vocabulary activity, I always take it further and tell them that when you become an adult, where are you going to use this? Because they will say, why should we know comprehension or why should we know vocabulary? Because we are all going to type and we will get synonyms on the system. So I tell them, like, see, I am talking to you. If I don't have the right word to use, I will fall short in my communication skills. So we have to connect classroom learning to real life problems and real life situations so that children are able to see the value in learning something in the class. This is how they become responsible learners, and they also take ownership that I am learning this for myself, not for parents, not for teachers, not for schools, not for exams, but I'm learning this for my future. I'm learning this to become a better person. I am learning this to hone my personality. So I think we have to think of ways in increasing intrinsic motivation, because if a child is motivated intrinsically, the child will learn no matter what, and they will find ways of learning. And also post pandemic, we all the teachers know how to use digital tools for teaching, for assessment. I think they have to continue using it. Just because we have come into the physical classroom, we should not do away with that. This not only helps us save a lot of time, but it also helps us identify children who need help. So we can do all the scaffolding, we can do the remedial sessions online, so that beyond school hours also we are able to help children. Because if you instill confidence in children, they will become active learners. I just want to finish by giving you a small example of what we did in our school. We have introduced the Interact Rotary Club in our school. So there are children who are part of the Interact Club, and what we did was, we keep telling children about problems in the society, but they don't care, because we all know that children come from very privileged backgrounds. So just telling them about problems is not going to make them active in solving those problems. So what we did was, we started a crowdfunding campaign in our school. So we are doing two right now. It is still active in our school as we speak today. One of the crowdfunding campaign is to help the children who have cataract. So we will be donating money for pediatric cataract surgeries. That is one of the campaigns. And the second campaign is to raise funds to be contributed to children who go to government schools and they do not have basic things like footwear and a school bag with a pencil box. So we are raising funds. And as I talk to you today, I'm very, very happy and proud to share that after just one day of the crowdfunding campaign, we have collected about 2.5 lakhs. So children are collecting money not just because they want to do it, they want to give a name to the school, because they want to help. They know the problem. We have actually discussed case studies with the children, that these are the children who have cataract, but their parents cannot afford the surgery, which is quite expensive. These are children who want to go to school. They are going to school without footwear, so they're not able to participate in games and sports. So children actually felt, they connected, they could relate to the issue, because the affected are also children. So this is an example of how you can use case studies to make children active. So children are the ones who are running the campaign, and they have assured us that, ma'am, we will collect about 10 lakhs for both the causes. So this is not I'm not mentioning this because it's a large sum of money. I am mentioning this because so many of our children have come forward to be active in resolving a problem of the society. And I think all educational endeavors end up when they use their learning of the classroom to solve problems of the society. It may be administrative problems. We are always complaining about politicians. Are we actually asking children that, do you have a solution to this? Yes, ma'am, we do. Why don't you grow up, become a politician, and resolve the problem? So we have to take the children out of the classrooms. We have to take children out of our protected environment of our school, take them into the outer community, and show what the real world is. What are the problems that the real life situation people are facing? Sensitize them to the problems of the world. Automatically, without you telling, they'll start connecting. When they learn something, I can do this to the society, I can solve that problem. So I think we can solve this problem of passive learners being in a classroom, Pranav, if we have an environment of mutual respect. We have to respect children for what they are. We have to take the suggestions. Sometimes, I must admit, they come up with better solutions than adults. So where there is an environment or a culture of mutual respect between the students and the school, I think automatically we will be able to convert passive learners into active learners. So this is what I feel are simple things that we can do to ensure that we nurture active learners amongst ourselves.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Delhi Public School, Electronic City, Bangalore students. They're collecting funds through a campaign for kids who are having cataract and students who don't have shoes or footwear to go to school. Yes. I think this is a big thing, ma'am. I think I'm impressed, ma'am. And you compared food with teaching. That was also an excellent example. You reminded me of my football coach. Ma'am, he had different stroke for different folks, because every boy, even girls used to play with us. They had different kind of, they need a different kind of assistance or training. So that is required. Thank you so much, Anupama ma'am, for your time. And I'm sure, I'm really impressed the way you explain things. And this will be very helpful for all the teachers, principals, and all the stakeholders of education. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Most welcome. Thank you for the opportunity and the conversation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.